Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove all hats for our national anthem. The Brookdale Community Athletic Department would like to thank Lincroft Cub Scout 210, who will be presenting the flag tonight.
All right, and welcome inside the Robert J. Collins Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey for the Jersey Blues men's basketball team as they're going to take on tonight the Cumberland County Dukes. Tim Calafamo alongside Sean Rosenboim. And Sean, we were discussing this before the game. Actually, we were talking to assistant coach Charlie Hawthorne for Brookdale, and he said Brookdale has not only struggled with the snow conditions in New Jersey, but they've only had one practice over the last week. How is that going to affect them coming into tonight's game?
Well, listen, they haven't, the 2 games got canceled. They haven't practiced all week, so not a lot of basketball has been played in the last week or so. It's interesting to see. Maybe they come out here a little rusty early on. Look for Coach Chizek to maybe use a couple timeouts early, kind of regroup his guys, let them know, look, we haven't been here in a while, but we still know what we're doing. So it'll be very interesting to see how they're affected. And Cumberland, we talked to Coach, and he said that they didn't really miss any practices, so they may have a little bit of advantage in that area.
Cumberland County actually comes in here 11-10 overall, 7-8 in the Region 19 tournament, while Brookdale comes in here 10-8, 9-5 in the Region 19 tournament. And it's going to be interesting to watch these two teams tonight. So again, high atop the Robert J. Collins Arena, Brookdale coming in here in their home white uniforms with blue lettering and red trim around those uniforms, while Cumberland Dukes come in here with blue uniforms with white trim and yellow lettering. And it'll be interesting to watch as both teams come in here struggling with turnovers. Cumberland comes in here averaging 11.3 turnovers per game, while Brookdale struggles with 13.6 turnovers per game. That'll definitely be an ongoing story, and of course you heard me and Sean talk about in the opening, with the only one practice for the Brookdale Jersey Blues all week, how will they look? Basically for the first time on the floor in basically about a week.
Yep.
And Brian Crosby, that is, wasn't able to handle that tip, so they'll do it over. Teron Mitchell there for Cumberland. Crosby will tip it over to Bennett, and we are underway. Cox going to get it outside to Grzinski. That shot's off. And a very quick offensive possession early on for Brookdale.
Yeah, maybe a little too quick. I think Coach Chizek maybe wanted him to settle down and get a better shot there. Not an awful look for Grzinski, but maybe a quick shot there they didn't want.
So here's Kalik Ford. Now over to Markevius Johnson for 3. That was a little bit off, and a rebound to Crosby.
Quick pace of this game, a couple outside shots early for both teams.
There's Cox. Gets it over to Johnson. Down low to Crosby. Turnaround shot and doesn't get it to go. And a nice rebound pulled down there by Teron Mitchell after he was basically bobbed by Brian Crosby underneath.
And Crosby had good position in that play, with good size underneath, just couldn't finish at the basket.
And a nice shot by Kalik Ford as Cumberland draws first blood tonight, up 2-0 with just about a minute gone by here in the first half.
Again, Brookdale looking for Crosby in the post. Got the mismatch they wanted.
Cox going to pull up with a quick jumper, and he sinks it down. So we are all tied up at 2.
Look for Brookdale to exploit that matchup inside. Crosby's got a couple inches on any of the players, really, for Cumberland. So we'll see if that's what their offensive strategy is going to be.
Here's Mitchell. Now over to Hackett. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell goes over. Grzeski's going to get the charge. Or no, I'm sorry, the blocking foul called.
Looked like Grzeski tried to take the charge there, just didn't get himself in position quick enough. Made a little bit of contact there. Referee made the call there.
So Mitchell will head to the line where he is 73% from the free throw line this year to try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. And he does so. So now that puts Cumberland up by 3, 5-2, with just about a minute and a half gone by.
And just as we talked about in the beginning, Brookdale trying to avoid a slow start here, trying to shake some of the rust off for not playing basketball for almost a week here.
Cox going to keep it himself, tried to dump it off to Crosby, and the ball will go out of bounds. It'll remain, though, with Brookdale. Seth Hackett for Cumberland was the last one to touch it.
And we can see the emphasis, again, really trying to get the ball inside to Crosby, let him use his size against the smaller Teron Mitchell.
So Cox will try to set up the offense with 15 on the shot clock. Now here's Isaiah Johnson, who comes in here averaging 22 points per game. Johnson's 3 is off.
And last time Brookdale played Cumberland, Johnson had a big game with 27 points and 8 rebounds. Look for him to try to get something going early on here, especially with his outside shooting.
Seth Hackett there for Cumberland couldn't quite handle that pass from Kalik Ford. And it'll turn the ball over and give it back to the Jersey Blues. Cox, guarded by Albright. Here's Johnson now.
Again, looking for Crosby inside. They're really, really working this matchup here.
Crosby going to go underneath and gets the finger roll to go, cutting the Cumberland lead down to 1, 5-4.
Good finish. You can see clearly the point of emphasis is get the ball inside to Crosby, let him use his size, and finish at the basket. We'll see if Cumberland can make some adjustments early on here.
Here's Markevius Johnson, guarded by Cox. Brookdale in a 2-3 zone here. Working the ball around. Here's Kalik Ford. Almost falls down. Gets the ball over to Mitchell. And a turnaround jump shot in the lane is good. 4-7 now with 6 seconds left here in the first half. Crosby down low working on Mitchell. Going to get the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Good drop step there in the post for Crosby. You could definitely tell, every possession they're coming inside to him. It's going to be up to Coach Philip Kelly to really make adjustments here and stop this. Cumberland's really giving up a lot of size inside, and we'll see if Crosby can, keep himself on the court, stay out of foul trouble, and look to maybe have himself a big game here.
Crosby, the 6'8" freshman from Bilford, New Jersey. First shot no good from the free throw line. 58% so far this year. Brookdale comes in here as a team, only shooting 68% from the free throw line. Something that we talk about, seems like every game, Sean, with free throws being a major factor.
Definitely. And, if they're going to win this game, Crosby's going to be inside. They're going to foul him a lot if they're not going to be able to guard him. He's got to be able to knock down those free throws, get himself those early points, and get himself going a little bit.
So Cumberland Duke still leading 7-5, up by 2. Approaching the 4-minute mark here in the first half. Here's Albright. Now over to Seth Hackett. Now back to Albright. Mitchell. As Cumberland continues to swing the ball around. Shot clock winding down to 2. They're going to have to get up a quick shot. And they can't quite get it off in time.
Great team defense there by Brookdale, rotating in the zone. He's doing a good job of closing out on the shooters and getting to the ball.
Bennett tried to go coast to coast, couldn't get it to go, but Crosby is there with the rebound, and we're tied up at 7.
He's getting his hands on the ball every possession down that floor.
Tied up at 7 as we hit the 4-minute mark gone by here in the first half. Seth Hackett with a long 3, that's off, and a rebound to Tevon Bennett.
Coach Kelly didn't look happy with that shot.
It was very early in the shot clock. Now here's Cox from the corner. That's in and out. Crosby tried to get there on the rebound, but he touched it last.
Crosby seems to be dominating this game inside early, getting his hands on rebounds, getting the ball in the post. interesting, we haven't really seen this much, Crosby being the focal point of the offense.
Well, Crosby is usually not the first player to come into the game. Normally it's Norbert Allen who comes in to start at center. Crosby, a little bit different lineup tonight as Seth Hackett was able to get that one to go down in the lane.
I think maybe Coach Cizek likes his post presence, maybe a little bit of a better offensive player than Norbert Allen, and you can kind of see that they're really going to go to him early.
Isaiah Johnson going to travel with the basketball. Got a little bit too excited there. Not happy with that call, but did shuffle his feet.
And again, you can see their early adjustment by Coach Kelly. As soon as Crosby caught that ball, the double team came from the weak side, made him give up the ball, caused the turnover. Much more of the kind of defense Coach Kelly's going to be looking for the rest of this game here.
So as you may have heard, Brian Crosby now heads to the bench. Norbert Allen, another freshman from the Bronx, the 6'9" center, going to head in to take Crosby's place.
It'll be interesting to see if they go with him on the offensive end too.
Mitchell going inside, can't get the roll to go, but he will go to the line to shoot too. Norbert Allen, I believe, with that foul, and just like that, now Brian Crosby's heading to the scores table, possibly trying to check in. And it is on Allen. That'll be his first.
Looks like Coach Cizek didn't like what he saw there. And we've talked to Coach Cizek in the past, and he's definitely said he's not going to hesitate to pull a guy out, whenever he needs to. He's looking for the defensive effort from his players, and if you're not on par with his expectations, you're coming out of the game, and he's going to put someone in that's ready to do the job.
And you just saw Norbert Allen head to the bench. Brian Crosby goes right in. So Crosby basically got a blow for maybe 30 seconds at the most on the sidelines.
And we see Norbert Allen on the bench with Coach Brunson and Coach Pastore, really kind of talking to him, maybe letting him know exactly what they expect from him in this situation.
Two quick opportunities at the basket. Brookdale can't quite get it to go down. And a head pass to Tareem Albright. He can't quite handle it, and it'll be a turnover. Jersey Blues will maintain possession down by 4, 11-7.
A little bit of an ambitious pass there, trying to get the outlet pass going, maybe get something going on the fast break here. But, ill-advised probably.
So the Cumberland Dukes and a little bit of a man-to-man defense here. There's Bennett.
They got the big man down low if they want it.
Now Grzeski going to go inside with a nice reverse layup, and he gets it to go.
A little up and under scoop there by Grzeski, really being patient there. Norbert Allen kind of had his man isolated, so no help came over, and Grzeski kind of had an open layup there.
Brookdale cuts the Dukes lead down to 2. Now here's a long three from the right arc. That's no good.
Brookdale really doing a good job on the boards early on here with the size advantage.
Allen down low, gets it into Krzyzewski again. Can't quite get it to go, but a nice putback by Allen, and we're tied up at 11 once again.
And Brookdale dominating the boards on that play, especially you see it. Norbert Allen just crashing the boards, getting up over everybody, and just putting it right back in.
And Philip Kelly is going to burn his first timeout tonight as Brookdale started to get something working inside.
Yeah. And you can tell the point of emphasis by Coach Cizek. We have the size. Let's use it. Let's get the ball inside. When they come with a double team, cut off of that double team. Crash in through the lane and have the big men make the right play, the right pass. They struggled a little bit with it early on, but it looked like Norbert Allen made the good decision there to get it out and then to follow the shot there.
Brookdale has 2 players who are over 6'5". That's Brian Crosby at 6'8", and Norbert Allen 6'9". Now, of course, they're being rotated in between, but still, they definitely have a height advantage.
And if you can keep both of them fresh and both of them out of foul trouble, it really gives you a huge advantage going forward in this game with the lack of size for the Cumberland Dukes here.
So fans during this timeout, we remind you that you can watch live broadcasts of the Jersey Blues men's and women's basketball home games throughout Monmouth County on Comcast Channel 21 and on Verizon Fios Channel 46. You can also watch them live streaming on our website at brookdalecc.edu. If you happen to miss any of the games and you want to rewatch them again, rebroadcasts of each and every Brookdale Jersey Blues home game from the Robert J. Collins Arena here on Brookdale Television are rebroadcast Wednesdays and Sundays at 11:30 a.m., 5:30 p.m., and 11:30 p.m. at night. So be sure to check the Brookdale website and brookdaleathletics.com for more information.
Coming out of this timeout, Coach Kelly looks like he wants his guys to maybe push the pace a little bit. get the defense moving a little bit, get those big guys tired, and Coach Cizek's going with the two big guys at the same time.
A steal by Isaiah Johnson going one-on-one with Ford, and he makes it go. Isaiah Johnson.
One of the best finishers at the rim we've seen in a while here at Brookdale.
Gives Brookdale their first lead of the night, 13-11. Here's Ford. Now over to Mitchell. Mitchell, a long three by Hackett. That doesn't go. Up ahead here to Cox. Cox going to take it to the rim. Can't quite get it to go, but he will go to the line to shoot two.
A good pass by Johnson there to find Cox on the outlet. Cox being aggressive, going to the hoop. And you got to like the start here for Brookdale. They're going with the two big guys now together. Maybe Coach Cizek sees something that, he really has a huge size advantage. He wants to take advantage of it early on here and, force Cumberland to make adjustments, because right now Brookdale is pounding them on the boards, and especially with the two big guys at the same time, I can't see that this is going to change.
So Cox, the 5'11" freshman from Long Branch, New Jersey, makes the first free throw. DeAndre Solomon going to check in for Cumberland. Also, Glenn Bates is on the floor for Brookdale. So Terrell Cox will come out after knocking down both of those free throws.
Bit of a 1-2-1 zone, looks like. A variation of a 2-3.
Brookdale definitely has given them a lot of different looks so far early in this
Coach
first half.
really mixed up the defense. I think early on, you could tell the strategy is to just fire outside shots here, because really the size of Brookdale, you're not going to get close to the basket. So I think they want to maybe put that zone away from the basket a little bit there.
That was Kalik Ford on the other end for Cumberland, and Isaiah Johnson answering right back.
And his ability to finish at the rim is uncanny. He finishes up there, gets over the defense, does a great job of getting the ball in the basket at the rim.
Now here's Mitchell. Over to a long three by Solomon.
Again, if you're going to take threes and miss them, Brookdale's pulling down every rebound. Not a lot of second chance opportunities. This could get out of hand quickly.
Bates down low to Allen, working it. Can't quite get it to go. And a rebound by Mitchell. Duke's looking to push it. Mitchell over to Johnson from the corner. That's no good. It was an air ball and a rebound to Crosby. Here's Bates. And we're going to get a foul called down low.
Again, one shot and the rebound by Brookdale. Not a good offensive strategy here. But again, there's not much you can do with the size advantage that Brookdale has right now.
Brookdale just barely beats the 5-second call as they get it in. Bates tried to go down low to Crosby, but it was tipped out. And now the officials are conferring, and it will go to the Dukes.
Looks like it was deflected by the Dukes, but the last one to touch it was Adams, as it kind of got deflected before he could get to it.
By the way, that last foul on the floor was on the Dukes. DeAndre Solomon, the freshman from Pittsgrove, New Jersey, for Cumberland, called on that foul. That's his first. Now here's Mitchell. Gets it down low. That shot is blocked by Crosby.
And again, you can see that. And what a play by Bennett to get on the floor there.
Johnson all by himself. Tried to throw it down. Couldn't quite get the height. You see, he was a little bit disappointed that he couldn't get that.
Out a little bit there. But again, you see they come inside. All it ends up being is a turnover. So not a lot Cumberland can do right now. They're going to have to hit their outside shots here.
Brookdale up by 5, 19-14, 11:09 remaining. Nobody down low for Brookdale as DeAndre Solomon just lays it in.
Big lapse on defense, and just as that happens, you see Coach Cizek going to his bench, getting a couple guys up there because he saw somebody made a mistake and he doesn't want that to happen again.
Grzeski and Cox ready to check in for Brookdale. As Bennett now.
Bit of a strange situation. We haven't seen Noah Dean at all today.
And a big time block down low by Teron Mitchell, swatting that ball out of Brian Crosby's hands. It'll remain with Brookdale with 18 on the shot clock, as now you see Cox and Grzeski come to the floor. Isaiah Johnson heads to the bench for a blow. So here's Cox, inbounding underneath his own basket.
Having trouble.
And he's going to have to call a timeout. You heard him. Nobody open for him to get it out to. and he's forced to burn a timeout.
And Tim, you would think with the pace of play here and all the trouble that Cumberland has had, that this game would not be this close right now. Brookdale's dominating the boards, dominating the play inside, but Brookdale's turning the ball over a little bit. You know, a couple lapses on defense gave Cumberland a couple easy baskets and maybe letting them hang around a little bit more than they should be right now.
It definitely is something to consider. Brookdale comes in here averaging 33 rebounds per game, and certainly with the height advantage that they have between Allen and Crosby down low. Of course, Isaiah Johnson gets a lot of rebounds. In fact, I would say all the players do a pretty good job of rebounding.
Exactly. A good team, rebounding team, as that's one of the big points of emphasis from Coach Cizek all season is a team effort in rebounding.
So after that quick timeout, again, still 18 on the shot clock. Brookdale up by 3, 10:46, approaching the midway point of the first half.
Again, more trouble. Oh, good cut there by Bates.
Nice down low to Glenn Bates. Nobody home for Cumberland, and he'll lay it in and put Brookdale back up by 5.
By Coach Cizek.
Now here's Nicole Rodriguez. He's a new player in the game. Teron Mitchell going to go inside to try to get it in. And it is an end one. He got fouled on his way in, I think, by Crosby.
And again, it's plays like that that are kind of letting them hang around. I mean, you know, the big men inside just haven't been able to really secure them maybe as much as we thought they were going to be. And a 3-point play there as Crosby comes out of the game, and now a much smaller lineup for Coach Cizek.
So Crosby comes out, Isaiah Johnson comes back in. And it'll be Teron Mitchell trying to complete the 3-point play, and he does, cutting the Brookdale lead down to 2, 21-19. Johnson going to keep it himself, loses control of the ball, but Glenn Bates is there to try to put it up. Can't quite get the shot to go, though. Now up the floor quickly. Here comes Cumberland County. Nice feed down low to DeAndre Solomon. And we are tied up at 21.
And you know, Cumberland's doing a real good job of just capitalizing on the opportunities. They get a turnover, they come right back down, get an easy basket.
Cox with a fadeaway jump shot, gets it to go. It's a 2. Thought it might be a 3. Now quickly up ahead. It is saved out of bounds by Tareem Albright. And we're going to get a foul, I believe. Okay, it is DeAndre Solomon. I thought it was Markevius Johnson who was going to get called. If that's Solomon's second foul. Only 7 team fouls combined for both of these teams, which is a little bit of a surprising fact. Still only halfway through this first half, though.
Cox with an ill-advised contested jump shot there.
Johnson going to keep it himself all the way coast to coast. That's back iron, no good. Now Johnson, Isaiah Johnson, trying to push it for Brookdale. Bennett inside, and he's going to get fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
So this quicker lineup really emphasizing the ball movement here. You know, they were maybe getting a little stagnant trying to get the ball inside of the big guys. You know, it kind of wasn't working a little bit. Coach Cizek made the substitution, got a smaller lineup in there. They're kind of moving the ball a little bit more, getting to the rim, drawing fouls. Good job on the offensive end. Defensively, a couple struggles on the defensive end. They really need to get a couple stops and slow down the Cumberland attack.
Bennett hits the front rim on that first free throw. Fouls on Markevius Johnson, the freshman from Wilmington, Delaware. That's his first foul of the game.
Still no Noah Dean for Coach Cizek. He's been a key contributor to this team, a starter pretty much every game. Interesting to see that he's not made an appearance yet.
Dean still has his warm-up suit on the sidelines on. Intercepted by Cox.
Yeah, great play to keep that alive.
Here's Isaiah Johnson going to keep it himself. Falls down in the process. No foul. Can't get the layup to go. And now I believe Cox is going to be called with a reach-in.
Coach Cizek's not happy about that. Thought that Johnson probably was fouled on that play.
And it is Cox's first foul. Team foul number 4 for Brookdale.
Brookdale's picked up a bit of a full court press here.
Trying to pressure the Cumberland Dukes into a mistake. Here's Rodriguez.
Great job of Rodriguez to beat that press.
Can't quite get the layup to go. Blocked by Cox. And now here comes Johnson for Brookdale. Going to slow it down and set up the offense. And he's going to be called with a palming call as he was being a little bit too fancy with the basketball. And that'll be a turnover and give it back to Cumberland, who will inbound in front of their own bench. Brookdale sticking to their full court press. And a down low feed. Solomon was trying to get it down to Johnson, but nobody was home.
Yeah, Johnson just had no idea that pass was coming in, thought they were going to probably bring that back outside. Johnson just didn't get a feel of where the defense was. Probably was more open than he thought he was. And unfortunate turnover there.
It was a nice look by Solomon. Johnson was open, but as you said, Sean, there wasn't a good communication going on between those two.
Good move by Cox to get inside.
Cox made a nice move, but the shot does not go down. Now strips it away. Now here's Glenn Bates.
He's got numbers if they pushes it. There he goes.
Bennett.
No call there.
No call. And a nice rebound by Markevius Johnson.
Quick pace of the game now.
Rodriguez open for three. That's no good. Tip up no good by Solomon. And now Johnson.
Good move by Johnson to get inside. Avoiding the charge there and drawing the foul.
Nicholas Rodriguez, called with the block. It will not be a shooting foul, though, as the officials called it on the floor. And Philip Kelly is going to burn another timeout for Cumberland, as his team is down 24-21 with 7:48 left in the first.
And as we have a break here, we'd like to remind you that for the first time in 35 years, a select group of former Jersey Blues will be inducted into the Brookdale Athletics Hall of Fame. There'll be a banquet Friday, February 6th at the Sheraton Eatontown, followed by a brunch on Saturday the 7th. And the honorees will also be attending the game, and we'll have a little bit of a halftime ceremony during the men's game on Saturday, so something to look forward to. And a nice tradition here that they hope to continue at Brookdale every year.
Certainly is something, because this is only the second class being inducted since the first class was inducted back in 1979.
And the 2005 class includes a lot of former athletes, students, and even the whole 2002 women's softball team. So a big class coming in here.
Definitely an all-star lineup getting inducted for the 2015 Brookdale Hall of Fame. So a fresh 35 on the shot clock. Cox inbounding, has the ball knocked out by Rodriguez. And now Coach Chizek quickly is going to call a timeout after Coach Kelly called another timeout.
Interesting substitutions for Coach Chizek. Brian Reese on the floor, along with Gurzeski and Johnson Akile for the first time. Again, no Noah Dean. He's kind of sitting over there on the end. The team's kind of huddling up. You'd like to think that maybe something happened here. Maybe he's not feeling well. Not sure what's going on with Noah Dean, but no Noah Dean today, and I don't know if it's going to happen.
Well, you think back to the game a couple of weeks ago when Noah Dean was in the game. He came down kind of funny late in one of those games on his right ankle. Came down trying to grab a rebound, and ever since then, we really have not seen him out in the court. Now, Terrell Cox, also in that game, had his eye gouged.
Yeah.
He's feeling better, but possibly Dean not feeling as lucky. As again, he still has his warm-up suit on the sidelines.
Is now the only man that not entered the game.
And again, poked out. This time by Mitchell. So Brookdale having a lot of difficulty just trying to inbound underneath their own basket.
A couple times now, burning a timeout and now getting the ball knocked away.
Cox throws it at the feet of Crosby. Now up ahead to Albright, who gets fouled hard by Cox. You heard the slap as he hit the floor. And just like that, Tavon Bennett is going to come in for Cox as Coach Chizek is beside himself with Cox.
I think it's more the turnover on the inbounds pass than the, you got to applaud the effort of the defense having to get back and, even have a chance to, make a foul there. But I think it's the inbounds pass. He's having a lot of issues with. Cox just not able to get the ball inside through a bad pass to Brian Reese, rather to Brian Crosby right at his feet. So Coach Chizek's not happy with Cox right now.
Tareem Albright makes the first foul shot. He's only shooting 54% on the year from the free throw line. Sinks them both.
1 point game at this point. A little back and forth.
It has definitely been a good game for sure.
Gurzeski with a good look.
And he hits it. way behind the three-point line for Tyler Grzeski. Puts Brookdale back up by 4, 27-23.
Much needed basket there for Brookdale.
Now here's Albright, going to try to trade blows with Grzeski from the corner. That's no good. And a nice rebound. Up ahead now to Brian Reese. Inside, a nice shot made by Johnson Ekiel. Puts Brookdale back up by 6. Quickly up the floor. Contact is made. Seth Hackett gets fouled.
Looks like it's on Akile. You can see Coach Cizek very adamant that they want him to get in that full court press and trying to get a couple of guys back there, as he almost got caught ahead of the pack at half court there.
So Akile, as you mentioned, Sean, on the foul. That's his first of the night. Hackett misses the first from the free throw line.
Johnson heads back into the game.
Hackett only shooting 56%. While Cumberland comes in here only shooting 60% from the free throw line. Hackett, though, makes the second foul shot. Cuts the Brookdale lead down to 5. So here's Brian Reese. Gives it off to Bennett.
So they're trying to post Crosby.
Crosby really working down low. Johnson going to keep it himself. That shot's no good, but Crosby's going to be called with an over the back as he tried to grab that rebound away from Markevius Johnson. And that'll be Crosby's. Oh, that's only Crosby's first foul. I'm sorry. I thought Crosby had more fouls than that.
His first.
It's going to put Cumberland now in the 1-1. So with 6:35 to go, both teams now in the bonus.
So Markevius Johnson, 1-1 here. Hits the front end of the rim, although a nice rebound by Kalik Ford to keep it alive, and Cumberland will set up their offense.
No weak side action, though, from Cumberland. Just really trying to get the three-point shot there, but a good offensive rebound. Again, when you see that pass into the middle, you'd like to see some of that weak side action coming from, on the baseline for that guy to kind of turn around and make that pass to the cutter, but not a lot of that. More spreading the floor and trying to get a three-point shot. A very obvious plan of attack from Coach Kelly here.
So Tavon Bennett called with the foul. Kalik Ford at the line makes the first. Ford, the freshman from Melville, New Jersey, makes them both and cuts the Brookdale Jersey Blues lead down to 3, 29-26, 6:15 remaining here in the first half. Now here's Bennett. Over to Brian Reese. Takes a nice jump shot in the lane, pulls it up and knocks it down, putting Brookdale back up by 5. And they continue to go with this full court pressure. Cumberland gonna have to get it over the floor before they get the 10-second call, and they will. Here's Mitchell. Bennett falls down, hoping to get a call.
Great pass inside there.
Nice look down low to Seth Hackett, but no foul was called. Fresh 35 as the shot clock resets. Now here's Hackett again, and a nice teardrop jump shot from right underneath the basket.
Penetrating and kicking. To beat the zone, you want to penetrate the zone, collapse the defense, kick it to the open shooter. A really good job a couple of times there, getting good looks there.
So they've cut the lead down to 3. Reese going to go inside. That shot's no good. Now a little bit of a tie-up underneath Crosby. And Teron Mitchell fighting for it underneath. Possession arrow will go to Cumberland, so by virtue of the jump ball, they'll take possession. Brookdale now switching up their defense, going man-to-man instead of the 2-3 zone that they were in earlier. Here's Markevius Johnson. That's no good. Rebound to Bennett. Reese in the corner, picked up his dribble.
Good hesitation dribble by Bennett.
Bennett has it blocked away by Kalik Ford. Ford now Going to go right past Johnson and lays it in. Nice
little
job.
Euro step weaving in between the defense there, getting to the basket, uncontested for the layup.
Johnson was bracing himself to take a charge. Kalik Ford, though, goes right around him and cuts the Brookdale lead down to 1. Johnson now. Nice off the glass move.
Just using his teammate Crosby to his advantage. Crosby posting up, kind of using Crosby as a little bit of a shield, getting up over the defense, making a nice, easy layup.
Pretty interesting game so far tonight in the Robert J. Collins Arena. That shot by Teron Mitchell is no good. Now here's Bennett, 1-on-3, going to keep it himself, and he's going to be called with the offensive foul.
That looks like a tough call there. Two guys kind of made a wall there, but neither one of them was really set. And they called the offensive foul, but I'm not sure about that one.
It was a 1-on-3 situation.
Yeah. And you know, Bennett maybe not with the greatest decision in the world to go at 3 defenders all by himself. Resulted in an offensive foul.
Tried to make something happen. And possibly you think maybe it would have been better to pull up.
Yeah.
He's now on the bench.
Yeah, definitely, you know, may have been a wiser decision. Just pull that ball back out and run a play. Get yourself a good possession.
So here's Kalik Ford. Shot the clock down for the Dukes to 10. And Ford is going to be called with a traveling violation.
Double triple violation. Blue small.
So every time Cumberland kind of creeps up a little bit, you think they might be able to get ahead in this game. Something happens, Brookdale just gets that stop and comes back down and maybe holds them off a little bit. So with a 3-point lead here, still 3:29 to go, but it'll be interesting to see if Brookdale can kind of hang on to this lead going forward here the rest of the half.
Well, remember, early on, Cumberland came out with the lead. It wasn't a very large lead, but nonetheless, they were able to get the first points. Ever since then, though, Brookdale's been able to come back as Allen steps on the baseline, turnover for the Jersey Blues. But definitely, I see what you're saying, Sean. They can get really, really close. They've even tied it a couple of times on occasions, but they can't quite get over that hump and take the lead.
And give credit to Brookdale that they're really locking down on the defensive end, just stopping that one big play. Good block there by the big man Allen.
Allen rejects Tavon Mitchell's shot from the corner. Now here's Bates, down low to Allen, off the glass, no good.
Yeah, rushed a little bit there. Big man's got to remember, he's got a little bit of size there. He's got a chance to gather himself, maybe take another drop step to the basket.
Mitchell tried to get it over to Kalik Ford, but that was a bad pass taken away by Grzelski.
Oh, and he almost threw it away. Good job by Johnson to recover that ball.
Johnson quick thinking on his feet. Now going to drive it inside, and he's going to be fouled by Markevius Johnson.
And again, Cumberland unable to just get through, 3-point game, unable to get that basket that they need. A couple of turnovers in the last possessions.
So Markevius Johnson fouling Isaiah Johnson.
And it looks like we're going to see Noah Dean for the first time today. So maybe a little bit of injury maybe bothered him early, maybe feeling better now. We'll see if we can get a word from one of the coaches at halftime on the Noah Dean situation. Also, we failed to mention Corey Brown not in uniform today. So we'll try to get some information on that.
So Dean will check in as Norbert Allen comes out. Isaiah Johnson, by the way, missed that first foul shot. The freshman from Trenton, New Jersey. Averaging just under 23 points per game. And he has really been a major force, both on offense and on defense for Brookdale all season. So approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Brookdale up by 4, 34-30. Wild shot put up by Albright. Tip up, rolls in and out. And now we're going to get called with a foul.
He had way too many chances at that. 3 offensive rebounds on that one possession. Brookdale did a really good job of rebounding early on, but you see it kind of slipping a little way. Maybe the effort's not there on the boards, but Coach Ejek's really going to have to find an adjustment to make it halftime because they're getting a lot of offensive rebounds, and they've missed a lot of shots. And early on, it was really hurting them because they couldn't get second opportunities. But now they're getting a second and even third chance at the basket and really capitalizing on it.
Brian Reese called on that foul. That's his first. Hackett at the line. Makes them both. And cuts the Brookdale lead down to 2. Again, we remind you that this game is brought to you by Domino's of Red Bank, located at 60 English Plaza. You see Brian Reese with the N1. Fouled by DeAndre Solomon down low. And Reese will go to the line and try to complete the three-point play. But as I was mentioning, Domino's of Red Bank sponsoring the game here tonight, feeding our very hungry Brookdale television crew. You can find them at 60 English Plaza in downtown Red Bank, or you can go online and order a pizza from them at domino'sofredbank.com. There's many ways to do it. You've heard us talk about it on the telecast many times by using the Domino's app on your smartphone. So definitely get involved. domino'sofredbank.com. So Reese will try to complete the three-point play, and he does, putting Brookdale back up by 5 as we are now 2 minutes left in the first half. Here's Mitchell. Over to Ford. Hits a wall of defenders. Mitchell, nice pass inside to Michael Brown. That's the first time we've called his name tonight, and he cuts the lead back down to 3.
Brookdale getting sloppy with the ball now. Bates did a good job to recover there.
Johnson all alone from the corner. That's no good. Dean trying to tip it in. And a nice save there by Michael Brown to keep the possession alive for the Dukes. Ford, man, going coast to coast, knocks down Grzeski, but because the ball was out of play, Grzeski will not be called with the charge. Coach Chizek, though, is not happy about that.
I think Coach Chizek's more concerned about the fact that the ball was lost out of bounds and nobody touched it.
So here's Mitchell. Shot clock down to 25 as we approach a minute remaining.
Coming with a chance to cut it to a one-possession game.
Dean gets run over by Seth Hackett.
No call there by the official either way, so kind of letting him play on that one. Just, decided that maybe he was a little bit out of control and just threw up a bad shot.
So as we approach the final minute of play here in the first half, lots of interesting storylines to follow throughout the game. Again, Brookdale coming in here with only one practice due to the local and recent snows that have blanketed the New York, New Jersey area, as Kalik Ford goes right over Tyler Grzeski and is going to be called with the offensive foul.
And again, cutting it to 3 points, unable to get that basket to really get themselves over the hump. And you got to give Brookdale credit here. They're playing, spurts of good defense, but they're getting the big stop where they need it. When the game is in balance, they're getting the stop, and now hopefully they can capitalize on the offensive end before the half here.
So here's Isaiah Johnson. He's going to get bumped by Seth Hackett. And because Cumberland is in the double bonus, Isaiah Johnson will be shooting 2 free throws from the line.
So not a smart foul there to, foul Johnson 25 feet away from the basket, give him a couple free throws. Be interesting to see in the second half what kind of adjustments both coaches making. But we get ourselves a heck of a ball game here.
It has been within the 3 or 5 point range all game long as Johnson makes the first free throw. Neither team really being able to pull away, but it's something that we've really been talking about all game, Sean. Brookdale, ever since the first couple of minutes, has been able to have the lead, and even though Cumberland has come close, has been able to retain it thus far.
Yeah, and I think that goes a lot with the defense that they're playing. Rebounding, at times was sketchy, but getting better, and really just getting the big stop, forcing turnovers, forcing bad shots.
Rodriguez tried to keep it himself. Ball goes out of play. Last touch by Grzeski. Coach Chizek can't believe that call. And because it changes possession, they will get a fresh 35. 9/10 of a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock right now as we wind down the first half. Rodriguez. And Albright's going to be called with the travel.
Took a big hop step there, but you got to shoot it if you're going to take that step. You can't keep moving.
Just got a little bit too excited there. It was actually a nice pump fake, I believe, on Brian Reese. And Albright was going to have a nice, clean shot. Just got a little bit too feet happy there.
Yeah, a little too anxious there. Maybe should have just pulled that shot when he had the chance.
So as we get ready to wind down here in the first half, Isaiah Johnson going to hold for the last shot. Drives inside, has the ball taken away. Up ahead to Rodriguez, and the ball is rejected away by Grzeski, but he's going to be called with a foul.
And the whole arena not agreeing with that one.
Maybe the only one who is agreeing with that call is you see that man on the monitor right now, Philip Kelly for Cumberland. That's probably the only one who agreed with that call.
And with 9/10 of a second, that's a tough call to make.
And now that'll put Rodriguez at the line, the freshman from Orlando, Florida.
Chance to cut it to a 3-point game.
And Coach Cizek is still not only talking to Grzeski about that, but trying to get a word from the officials as soon as they're done talking to Isaiah Johnson. And now the officials are going to confer.
Previous foul is charged on number 12.
So it will remain a foul for Grzeski. So at the line now again, Nicholas Rodriguez knocks down the first one. And this will probably be the last point scored unless Brookdale can somehow hoist up a last-second shot. And Dean will just pull it down, and that'll end the first half. So, Sean, we've really been talking about it. It's really been a game of closeness. Brookdale has come in here, started out the game not so great. Cumberland was able to draw first blood, and they got the first couple of points.
Yeah.
But Brookdale, ever since then, came back, took the lead, and has really held it, remaining with a 4-point lead, 39-35.
And I think on the defensive end, Coach Cizek started with a bit of a 2-3 zone. Saw that they started getting pretty good shots and a lot of offensive rebounds. When you play a zone, it kind of pulls the defense away from the basket a little bit, makes it a little bit easier for the offensive team to rebound. So you switch to the man. They started doing a better job on the boards. Kind of brought a lot of guys in and out, trying to find the right match. Guys, some guys making mistakes. Coach Cizek trying to, take them out and kind of let them know what was going on. So a lot of mixing and matching in the first half. But at the end of the day, there's a 4-point lead. They haven't squandered the lead to this point, and so you got to give them credit for that.
They have definitely done a great job. We're going to take a break here on Brookdale Television. Come back with the second half in just a couple of minutes. Again, Tim Califano, Sean Rosenboim with us here at the Robert J. Collins Arena. Brookdale Jersey Blues men's leading 39-35. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right, welcome back here to the Robert J. Collins Arena. Brookdale Jersey Blues men's team leading 39-35 over the Cumberland Dukes. Sean, what are you looking for in the second half? What's really going to happen? It's really been a close game all game long. What's going to happen?
Well, I think we expect more of the same. A little back and forth. Hopefully Brookdale can kind of hold off. On the defensive end, just kind of keep getting those stops that they've been getting when, the game gets a little bit closer. They're getting those big stops. Maybe a little bit better job rebounding, kind of like they were doing earlier on in the game. So we'd like to see some of that. But it'll be interesting to see where they go on both ends of the floor.
It's definitely one of those storylines that we've been following. It's been a close game if you're just joining us for the better part of the first half as Cox sinks that long jumper from the corner, putting Brookdale back up by 6 now. But again, if you're just joining us, Cumberland came out, scored the first couple of points, went up by 4 at one point. Then Brookdale came back, took the lead, and ever since has clung to about a 6 or 5 point lead, would you say, Sean, for the better part of this game? And it's really been stagnant there, although both teams have played phenomenally.
Yeah, both teams making runs at times, but both teams able to kind of regroup and stop the other team from really getting out to a big lead.
So we have a hold up on the floor, possibly a foul away from the ball.
And going back to a point from earlier on, Corey Brown is actually suspended for this game after receiving 2 technical fouls against Gloucester last week. So he's not in the building as per NJCAA rules. He is suspended for the next game after receiving 2 technical fouls.
So that was the issue. The shot clock was not set to its proper time. 16 now on the shot clock for Cumberland as they inbound underneath their own basket. Long three by Hackett is no good. Now a rebound to Khalif Ford, who travels.
They call a foul.
Well, that's what at least Coach Chizak thought. I thought the same thing, but there's going to be a foul called, I believe, on Crosby, who I think got hit in the knee. Yes, it will be on Crosby. That'll be his second foul, but it will be a foul away from the ball, so it won't be a shooting foul. Inbound to Mitchell, gets it down low to Hackett. That layup rolls right off the rim.
And I think they pretty much got what they wanted there, just able to finish at the rim there.
So here's Johnson, gets hit by Hackett, and Hackett will be called with a foul.
Cumberland kind of complaining a little bit that Johnson may be selling that a little bit, but no doubt that there was some contact there.
So that is Seth Hackett's second foul. Here's Johnson quickly inbounding. Picks up his dribble in the corner, now down low to Crosby. Crosby going to go right around Markevius Johnson and lays it in.
Good move, good post move there, get right to the basket. A little bit of what we saw early on in the first half.
So Brookdale with their largest lead of the game of 8. There's Markevius Johnson, trips. Him and Crosby go down to the floor hard. And it's going to be a blocking foul called on Crosby. That's going to be his third foul.
And it looks like he got hit in the same knee. He just got hit it a couple minutes ago. So he's going to come out of the game with 3 fouls. And also a little bit of a knee problem here.
He is walking gingerly on that right knee.
Coach Chizak sending him over to the trainer's table to get it looked at.
Here's Albright down low to Mitchell, who lays it in. Nice job as they cut the lead now down to 6. So approaching the 2-minute gone by mark here in the second half. Brookdale leading the Cumberland Dukes 43-37. Here's Norbert Allen down low, post-up shot. That's no good. Ball tipped around. Allen gets the rebound, but he'll get fouled and sent to the line. I believe that was Khalif Ford with the foul.
Allen, battling down there. The offensive game not so polished, trying to get to the basket, trying to put a move on the defender. Got a pretty tough shot up there, but a good job of Grzeski and Allen both getting that offensive rebound and getting Allen another chance at it.
I misspoke a moment ago. The foul is actually on Teron Mitchell. That's his first foul. Second team foul for Cumberland in this half. And again, Norbert Allen, the freshman from the Bronx. 6'9" center. Hits the back iron on that second foul shot, but a nice rebound to Grzeski to keep it alive. Johnson spinning his way in, gonna get fouled. Hits one of our cameramen down low. But he is okay. He'll go to the line though to shoot 2. I believe the foul is going to be called on Khalif Ford. That'll be his third personal.
Johnson doing a good job of getting to the basket there, drawing the foul. And Grzeski with the offensive rebound, don't forget about that. A good job early on here, rebounding, something we talked about coming into the half. That Brookdale may want to pick up the rebounding effort a little bit as they were starting to get beat on the boards towards the end of the first half.
Johnson's shooting 76% from the line this year, but misses that first foul shot. And nice camera work by our cameraman Justin down there. A little bit too close than I think he wanted it to be, but nonetheless got a nice shot. Johnson makes a second foul shot. So Brookdale now back up by 8. Here's Markevius Johnson in the corner. Swinging the ball around. Here's Mitchell down low. Pulls up his dribble. Rodriguez. And now a nice shot by Hackett. Each player got to touch the ball that time on that offensive possession, and it turns out good for Cumberland. Grzeski with a shot from the corner, and he knocks it down. A 3-ball, that's his first of the game, and puts Brookdale up by 9.
Good offensive possession there. Grzeski getting a good shot, and a good defensive possession there, contesting the shot by Grzeski. Grzeski's really coming out here with a good effort, contributing on both ends of the floor.
Markevius Johnson for Cumberland tried to answer, couldn't quite get it to go down. Johnson in the lane, going to get fouled by Seth Hackett.
And Johnson creating a lot now on the offensive end, with passing, driving to the basket, just getting a little bit of everything going here on the offensive end for Brookdale. When Johnson gets going, it's tough to stop him. You know, he put up 27 against Cumberland last time. So look for him to start, getting hot here in the second half and maybe get some points.
So Hackett now charged with his third foul. And Johnson again at the line. He makes his first.
Sullivan heads off the court for Cumberland.
Johnson, the sophomore transfer, averaging, as I said, 23 points per game earlier in the first half. Rims out on the second one. Now here's Albright for Cumberland. Gives it off to Solomon, now over to Rodriguez. Cumberland will try to set up their offense. Nice pass down low to Hackett, has it blocked away by Grzeski. But will remain with Cumberland with 16 on the shot clock.
That's a tough shot. You have the big man Norbert Allen in there. Grzeski collapsing on you. You got to probably pump fake that, maybe make an extra pass there. He was blocked there.
Albright had his shot deflected a little bit. Rodriguez, though, keeps it alive. Shot clock down now to 7. A long three hoisted up by Solomon from the corner. That's no good. The ball, though, will go out of bounds and remain with the Dukes. I think Isaiah Johnson may have bumped it. Or touched it, rather, as he was going out of bounds. Fresh 35 for Cumberland.
Not a good defensive possession here for Brookdale. A lot of shots, a lot of chances to stop the ball, but unable to secure possession. And you're hoping that you can get a stop here, and there it is. Then securing the ball there on that pass.
Miscommunication by Solomon as he threw it right to Norbert Allen in the middle of the paint. Now Brookdale will try to make him pay on the offensive end. Allen down low, gets it to go. Doesn't get the foul, though, as Coach Zizek was looking for.
And that time, Norbert Allen under control, took a good power dribble, got himself real close to the basket. A much better move that time in the post by Norbert Allen.
And that'll put Brookdale up to its largest lead of the night of 12. So fans, we remind you during this timeout that this is not your ordinary community college in Brookdale Community College. This is an education for the 21st century, a college that learns from industry trends and adapts to the changing job market. This is a group of acclaimed professors and staff who will stand at your side and help you kick down any door you choose. This is where you can learn a new skill or earn a degree online or in person at 6 locations across Monmouth County. This is not your ordinary community college. This is Brookdale. This is college redefined. This is success reimagined.
And Brookdale coming out here early on in the second half, a little bit more energy than Cumberland, crashing the boards, getting to the basket, getting fouled, a little bit of everything here. A sloppy possession on the defensive end, but a good job to recover and get the turnover. So, the scoreboard, shows the effort that Brookdale is really putting forth right now.
And again, fans, we remind you that tonight's game at the Robert J. Collins Arena is sponsored by Domino's of Red Bank, located at 60 English Plaza in downtown Red Bank. You can order a pizza or go online at domino'sofredbank.com, a great local restaurant supporting Brookdale athletics. So Brookdale coming out here with a little bit more of a full court press, trying to force Cumberland into a mistake. They get it up to Albright. Now over to Hackett, who's going to go inside, has the ball rejected.
And great save there by Cox.
And now here goes Grzeski. Over to Bennett, wide open from the corner. That's rims out, can't quite get it to go down. Bennett, though, gets his own rebound. Tip up, no good. And we're going to get a foul down low. I think Norbert Allen was the one who got hit.
And Grzeski with really good patience on that position, bringing the ball up, seeing Bennett in the corner, not forcing the pass there too early, draw the defender to him, and then kicking it to Bennett. Rimmed in and out, but a good job Bennett to follow his own shot. And just a great fundamental possession there by Brookdale.
Seth Hackett on that foul. That's his 4th foul. So definitely at least one of Cumberland's players running into some foul trouble as Hackett will stay in the game.
He thought he was coming out.
He thought he was going to come out. But instead it is Tyreem Albright who goes out.
So we'll see if Hackett plays a little bit more tentatively on the defensive end and trying to avoid that 5th foul. But I think maybe he's going to come out in a second here.
Norbert Allen hits the back end of the rim.
It's a lot of time to play with 4 fouls. Over 15 minutes to go in the game.
Here's Mitchell. Gets it over to Hackett. Hackett down low for Johnson, and he gets the layup off the glass to go.
It's just sneaking in behind the defenders there.
Cutting the lead down to 10, 51-41. 15 minutes remaining.
Good pick and roll there by the big man, but couldn't hang on to the ball.
Rodriguez, a feed down low to Hackett. Left-hand layup is good. And very quickly, Cumberland has gone on a little bit of a run of their own. They have cut it down to within single digits and clawed into Brookdale's lead, down to 8 now.
Brookdale needs a basket here, get themselves out of this funk on the offensive end here. They're looking for Allen maybe in the post, but they may let Johnson go to work here on the. They're going to go inside to Allen. Caught the ball pretty far away from the basket, but a good cut there by Cox.
Cox gets it to go inside with the runner.
You probably can see Allen catch the ball a little bit deeper in the paint there, but a good pass there to find Cox cutting, and Cox with a good floater in the lane.
And once again, Brookdale back up to a lead of double digits.
Cumberland's got to get some baskets here and not let this game get away from them.
Johnson going around the baseline, now gets it over to Hackett, top of the key, and he knocks it down.
Well executed play there. Found Hackett right at the top of the key, fired up, and got it to go. Cumberland hanging around, getting the baskets when they need them.
Cutting the Brookdale lead now down to 7. Cox guarded by Rodriguez. Loses the ball, and it'll go to Cumberland as it goes out of bounds.
It looks like Cox was a little bit unsure of what he was doing there. Tried to cross over, lost possession of the ball. No chance on that one.
So another turnover for Brookdale. Again, as I mentioned, coming into this game, Brookdale averaging 13 turnovers per game. Definitely
another good look there.
Has hurt them the last couple of minutes. Shot by Markevius Johnson is off the mark. Cox over to Reese from the corner for 3. That's front rim, no good. And now a rebound to Ford. They have some numbers. Gets it down low to Johnson, and he lays it in.
Good patience by Ford there to slow down the dribble a little bit, let his man get into the paint, draw the defender, and let him finish at the basket.
And very quickly, Cumberland has cut the Brookdale lead down to 5. Johnson pulls up for a 3, knocks it down.
Big time three-pointer there by Johnson to stop the run.
And very quickly, takes a little bit of air out of the tires, so to speak, for Cumberland as they got on a run. The lead still remaining at 8. 12:44 remaining.
Ambition to see what Coach Kelly does. Hackett on the bench now with 4 fouls. We'll see how long he keeps him out there.
Rodriguez almost lost the ball. Now here's Mitchell. Shot clock down to 10. Mitchell runs into a defensive player for Brookdale. Wasn't sure who that was. Got it over to Hackett. He couldn't finish. Johnson another 3. That's no good. Tip up though by Cox. Rolls around the rim. Bennett can't get his offensive rebound to go. And now there's a scramble on the floor. And Cumberland is going to be saved by a timeout.
Couple of missed opportunities there for Brookdale. Couple offensive rebounds, tips, no good. Really struggling to just kind of get the easy ones here. As we have a timeout here, we'll tell you about Brookdale's first Hall of Fame ceremony in 35 years, as a select group of former Jersey Blues will be inducted into the Brookdale Athletics Hall of Fame. The honorees will officially join the Hall of Fame during a recognition ceremony on Friday, February 6th at the Sheraton Hotel in Eatontown. Then the inductees will travel to the Lincroft campus on February 7th for a President's Brunch and join us for the men's basketball game against Sussex County Community College, and a little halftime ceremony will ensue.
Interesting to note that Sussex game here at the Robert J. Collins Arena will be live here on Brookdale Television, so you can definitely tune in for that. So coming out of the timeout, Cumberland again down by 8, but have shown a little bit more offensive presence here in the last couple of minutes.
Shot. Very ill-advised shot there.
Tough shot by Johnson, doesn't go. Now here's Isaiah Johnson for Brookdale. Gets it over to Cox in the corner. Again, guarded by Rodriguez. Cumberland in a man-to-man defense. Cox trying to set up a play as he watches the shot clock tick down to 13 now. Bennett thought about a 3. Shot clock down to 8.
Looking for Crosby to post up. Bad
Stolen away by Kalik Ford, who is double teamed but gets away from that. Now Ford quickly up the floor. Down low to Johnson, and he can't quite get the behind his back layup to go, but he will be fouled. and go to the line to shoot two.
And Ford made a tough pass there. Really put it in the only spot that his man could get to it. The defenders couldn't. Great job of passing there with the bounce pass. Johnson caught it, got up there, got fouled. So again, some fight still left in the Cumberland Dukes here as we get down to about 11 minutes to go.
So Markevius Johnson making that first foul shot, the freshman from Wilmington, Delaware, averaging 57% shooting from the line this year. See if he can cut the Brookdale lead down to 6 with this foul shot. And he does. He rattles it home. So 11:20 remaining here in the second half. Brookdale leading 56-50. If you're just joining us, it has been an interesting game, but Brookdale has been able to hold the lead for the majority of it. Although the last couple of minutes, Cumberland has been showing a little bit more offensive presence.
Chipping away at the lead.
Johnson loses control of the ball. Crosby, and there's going to be a jump ball.
Quick whistle.
And it's going to go back to Cumberland. Coach Chisek can't believe it. He wanted a foul as Crosby was getting mugged by 2 defenders in the lane.
That whistle came pretty quick, too. I think Crosby may be able to pull the ball away there. But you know, the referee blew the whistle. No foul called, so lost possession there for the Jersey Blues.
And Coach Chisek is angry. He just threw someone's warm-up jersey down to the ground. So now Cumberland trying to take advantage of this possession. Here's Mitchell. Mitchell going to drive it inside, gets the bucket and the foul. He'll go to the line to try to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. And if that's a foul on Crosby, I believe that's his second. Or no, I'm sorry, the foul's going to be on Glenn Bates. I'm sorry, second foul on Glenn Bates.
And again, we're at the point here where they're going to be able to cut it to maybe 3 points, but can they get over that hump? Can they tie this game? Can they take the lead? That's been the question all night long for the Cumberland Dukes.
Definitely, you're starting to sense the momentum shift just a little bit as Mitchell's shot bounces off the back rim and in. The lead is 3 for the Jersey Blues as we approach the midway point of the second half. Cox guarded by Ford. Gonna go right around Johnson and lays it in. Nice job by Cox to go right around Markevius Johnson. Looked like there was a little bit of confusion as him and Ford were trying to switch off their man. And Cox takes advantage of it and gets the bucket to fall. Coach Philip Kelly, you hear him yelling out instructions from the sidelines. Rodriguez.
Good spin move in the lane.
Tried to spin away. Ball is tipped around by Ford. And it'll go off Reese's foot. Brian Reese Jr.
And you see Kalik Ford, the smallest man on the court, getting up there, grabbing that rebound over all the tall trees in the lane. Got to give him credit. Working hard out there.
Nice look down low to Albright. Can't quite get the bucket to go. But he was fouled, I believe, by Johnson. That's only Johnson's first foul, but Coach Chisek not happy with some of the fouls that the officials are making underneath the basket. As you see him on the sidelines putting his hands up, trying to signal to the officials that he felt Johnson had his hands up the whole time.
Coach Chisek starting to get frustrated over there on the sideline. You don't see him sit much, but he's trying to cool himself off a little bit over there.
Albright, another freshman from Wilmington, Delaware. A lot of people from Wilmington, Delaware on this squad for Cumberland. Only one sophomore on the team. All the rest are freshmen as Albright misses both of them from the free throw line. Crosby. It went off of Teron Mitchell's hand. Terrell Cox was looking for Brian Crosby down low, but the ball went off of his hand. Brookdale will keep possession with 27 on the shot clock as Crosby now heads to the bench.
A little bit of a smaller lineup here.
Johnson from the corner, jump shot no good. Rebound.
Brzezinski immediately contributing. Immediately gets in there, gets an offensive rebound.
And here's Brian Reese Jr. working on Albright.
Brzezinski from way downtown.
And a rebound by Mitchell. And now here comes Rodriguez for Cumberland, quickly pushing it up the floor. Goes coast to coast, but gets fouled.
A lot of whistles on this end of the floor. Brookdale already with about 16 fouls. I guess both teams kind of racking up the whistles here. But another free throw opportunity, a lot of shooting opportunities, trying to finish at the basket for Cumberland here.
So Isaiah Johnson called with the foul, his second personal foul of the night. Rodriguez misses the foul shot. That's 3 straight foul shots that Cumberland has missed from the free throw line. That's a 4th one. So 2 opportunities from the free throw line. They can't get it to go down. Could have easily been 4 points, Sean. That's a huge swing.
It is, and he had a chance at the offensive rebound there. Couldn't control it. Actually did control it. Couldn't get the shot to go in. So
Brian Reese Jr. from the corner. He
that's
connects.
a killer. You miss free throws, come down the other end, give up a 3. That's a 5-point swing. That's a killer when you're trying to make a run and get yourself back in the ball game here.
And Brookdale now climbs up to a lead of 8. 8:48 remaining, 61-53. Jersey Blues in command. Ford going to pull up with a long 3. That's no good. Johnson tried to grab the rebound. Albright loses it out of bounds, and it will go to Brookdale.
It's a tough pass for him to handle. Try to throw the pass through traffic. I don't think Albright really saw the ball very well there. Couldn't handle the pass, but you know, a valiant effort there. And again, you know, 8-point lead here. Cumberland's got to do something to get themselves over the hump.
So here's Glenn Bates in the left arc. Going to step around his man, take the pick, set by Grzeski. That shot unfortunately hits the rim. Here's Kalik Ford with numbers, going to keep it himself and lays it in.
Good decision by Ford not to force the pass. Patience, get to the basket.
And Coach Chizek wants a timeout. He is angry. As you heard him all the way up here, a full timeout. That's what he wants, to discuss it with his players and his team. As you saw that nice layup by Ford there on the replay on the monitor. So fans, we remind you during this timeout that all Brookdale television basketball broadcasts, you can watch them live. The Jersey Blues men's and women's basketball games, all the home games throughout Monmouth County on Comcast Channel 21 and Verizon Fios Channel 46. You can also watch them streaming online at brookdalecc.edu. Also, if you miss any of the games and you want to catch up, rebroadcasts of each game are on Wednesdays and Sundays at 11:30 a.m., 5:30 p.m., and 11:30 p.m. at night. So if you can't sleep, come down and tune in to Brookdale Television on Wednesdays and Sunday nights to see replays here from the Collins Arena.
And Coach Chizek sitting his guys down, trying to give them a little bit of a motivational speech here, saying, look, guys, you can't let this game get away from us. We've been able to hang on to this lead. We really have to do a better job on the defensive end and on the offensive end. We're committing silly fouls, committing turnovers on the offensive end. We have to do a better job of just controlling this game, you know, not let it get away from us.
So now Bates spins his way inside, can't get the roll on the rim, but he was fouled by Teron Mitchell. It'll be 2 shots at the line for Glenn Bates. That's his Teron Mitchell's second foul. And as Bates makes the first foul shot. Bates only shooting 42% from the free throw line, but he makes me eat my words now as he makes both of them from the free throw line.
Well, some of them have to go in to shoot 42%, so there
puts
you go.
Brookdale back up by 8. Here's Albright guarded by Johnson. Now over to Rodriguez.
Quick shot
Markevius Johnson with a long three-pointer, and he connects.
It's a big possession here now for Cumberland, trying to get a stop here to be able to come back into this lead.
So now Cox picks up his dribble.
Nowhere to go with it.
Gets it into a charging Glenn Bates, who drives to the basket and lays it in.
Bates contributing a little bit here now.
Bates now going to be called with a foul as he put his hand on the back of Khalif Ford's jersey.
That'll give him
easy call for the official.
Yeah, a chance to get some easy points here at the free throw line.
So now Khalid Ford shooting 65% from the three-point line. From the free throw line, that is. I'm sorry.
After missing some free throws early on in the half, Cumberland's trying to get a little bit better here at the free throw line. And going forward, both teams in the bonus, so free throws may be determining in this game.
Ford makes them both and cuts the Jersey Blues lead down to 5. Cox spinning his way in the lane, has the ball stripped out of his hands by Johnson. Grzeski, though, hits his foot. And it'll be a kickball and it'll remain with
Grzeski
Cumberland.
almost snuck in there and took that ball away. And you got to applaud his effort today. He's really done a great job on both ends of the floor, really helping Brookdale hold on to this lead.
Grzeski has definitely done his part coming off the bench for Brookdale. Had that 3 earlier in the game. Really done a nice job so far tonight. So here's Mitchell, guarded by Brian Reese. Spins his way in the lane and gets the layup off the back rim to go.
Again, a 3-point lead now. Unable to really crack it from this point, though.
And we have seen this pretty much all night, Sean.
Yeah.
Cumberland comes really close to within 2 or 3 points, and then Brookdale will go on a run of its own.
Johnson lost the ball there. It's a chance here to get the ball. Oh, and right on the other end, the same thing. Both players losing the possession of the ball. But just when you thought Cumberland had a chance to maybe come down and get an easy basket, they give it back. And again, just, you know, Coach Kelly's got to be frustrated. You know, they're knocking on the door, but they just can't get in.
McKevius Johnson for Cumberland just lost control of it, and it ran out of bounds. Big turnover there because they had a possibility of possibly tying it up, 65 all. Approaching 6 minutes now left in the second half. Johnson going to be called with a travel.
Took a step before he took the dribble.
And that is a crucial mistake by Isaiah Johnson. You don't see him make those too often. As now it gives the ball back to Cumberland, who again has an opportunity on this possession to tie it up with a 3. Khalid Ford almost lost control of the basketball. Here's Mitchell. Double teamed.
It's like they're trying to get Solomon open for the 3, but instead they're going inside.
Ford went all the way inside, but just landed underneath the basket. Now here's Grzeski at the other end, and he's going to get the foul called by McKevius Johnson.
And Grzeski took a little while to go up with that shot. Probably could have had himself an easy layup, but kind of hung onto that ball, maybe took an extra step. Drew the foul, but you got to wonder if he could have just finished quicker than that.
Grzeski appears to be holding his right rib area, so possibly bumped the wrong way by McKevius Johnson underneath.
A couple big free throws here.
Makes the first one. So here comes Sean Hackett, or Seth Hackett, I'm sorry, Seth Hackett.
He's been gone for about 10 minutes, so we'll see if he can get something going here for them. They really need some help on the offensive end.
Again, Seth Hackett for Cumberland with 4 fouls, replacing Nicholas Rodriguez as he heads to the bench. And Grzeski makes both of them. So the lead goes back up to 5.
Hackett immediately on the ball, so we'll see if he can do something here.
Johnson, a long 3. That's good. Woo. McKevius Johnson, who had a hand in his face.
No hesitation there.
Connects on it and now brings Cumberland to within 2.
If Cumberland can get a stop here, they can take the lead with the next possession.
Brian Reese. Johnson thought about a 3. Guarded by Albright.
Good crossover move there.
Has the ball swatted away by Khalid Ford, but he's going to get called with the foul.
Johnson taking it upon himself to get something going here with a 2-point game. We saw earlier in the half Johnson creating a little bit, getting into the paint, drawing the foul. So he's right back up to his old ways and really trying to help Brookdale extend the lead here.
And we were talking about how Seth Hackett has 4 fouls for Cumberland. Add Khalid Ford to the list of players with 4 fouls as he just picked up his 4th.
It looks like both players are going to be on the court going forward, and as long as they can stay on the court with 4 fouls, they'll be playing.
So Johnson trying to put Brookdale back up by 4, gets the front rim to bounce.
A dangerous pass there. Grzeski takes out the
Grzeski
official.
slides right into one of the officials. Now a 5-on-4 opportunity. Albright makes them pay on the other end. Tyler Grzeski went for the ball, slipped on the floor, and slid right into the official.
Sometimes a little too much effort really comes back to bite you, and Grzeski maybe a little bit overzealous on that play. Really took himself out, along with the referee for that matter, an easy basket on the other end.
Now here's Grzeski. Got it over to Cox, who lost the ball. Johnson is bumped, and he stepped on the baseline.
No foul called on that play. Coach Cizek is livid. Looked like Johnson got bumped there as he was trying to recover the ball.
Johnson was bumped, but the officials say no call, and instead Johnson stepped on the baseline, and now here we are again, Sean, with Cumberland having an opportunity to tie, but also to take the lead for the first time in the second half.
First time in a long time.
First time since the first opening minutes.
Yeah.
Mitchell doing all the work himself, and he does it. He connects with it. And we are tied at 69 with 4:15 remaining here in the second half.
Let's see if Brookdale can get themselves a basket and stop the run here.
Remember, it wasn't that long ago that Brookdale was up by 12, and Cumberland has slowly clawed their way back into this game.
And they've done it by playing smart defense, getting good shots, timely three-pointers, capitalizing on fast break opportunities. Good move by Johnson inside. Hesitation, dribble, pulled up, faked the pass, went into the lane, made the layup. A much-needed basket there.
Isaiah Johnson, always someone Brookdale can depend on if they need a basket. 71 to 69 now. Starting to come down to the wire here in the Robert J. Collins Arena. Here's Johnson inside. He's going to be called with the offensive foul, though, as he runs into Cox.
And a good job by Cox to see that play developing. Saw Johnson was coming in, looking for the ball, not looking at the defender, and just stepped right into his path, got his feet set, made a huge defensive play there. And again, Brookdale getting key stops. They tie the game, but they get a stop, get a basket, a chance here to extend the lead.
And Markevius Johnson on an offensive foul called. That's his fourth personal. So he is one of three guys on the floor now for Cumberland who's got 4 fouls. Cox with a 3. That's off the back rim, no good. Grzeski with the rebound, gets the roll, and the line one.
Grzeski stepping up big time here in the crunch time moments here. Getting the and one opportunity, really with a chance to pull away here, coming down the stretch.
And Coach Kelly is going to call a timeout for Cumberland as he is starting to sense the momentum shift just a little bit.
Yeah, just when you thought Brookdale was up against the ropes, chance to get knocked down, really fought back on the defensive end, got a couple of baskets and a 3-point play opportunity here, really giving him a chance to secure a 5-point lead here.
So when the timeout finishes, Grzeski will go to the line and try to complete the 3-point play. And while we have a moment, we remind you that tonight's game is brought to you by Domino's of Red Bank, located at 60 English Plaza in downtown Red Bank. You can order online by going to Domino'sOfRedBank.com. Get yourself pizza. Remember, we have the Brookdale women squaring off against the Cumberland women Dukes coming up at 7 approximately tonight. So be sure to order a pizza if you haven't done so already. Domino'sOfRedBank.com. You can also order online on your smartphone by going through the Domino's app. So there are many different ways you can do it. Again, Domino'sOfRedBank.com, proud sponsor of tonight's game here in the Robert J. Collins Arena. So Cumberland coming out of the timeout with Albright, Ford, Mitchell, Johnson, and Hackett on the floor. Hackett, Johnson, and Ford all have 4 fouls.
But again, doing a good job of not picking up a 5th one. Hackett especially, since he got him early in the half.
So Tyler Grzeski with a huge basket here. Not only to put Brookdale back up by 5, but more importantly, a 2-possession game as we approach the 3-minute mark. And he does, as that was an inadvertent horn that just went off. Kind of startled Coach Cizek. He looked over at the bench thinking something was wrong. Nonetheless, though, Brookdale goes back up by 5. Albright going to keep it himself. Coast to coast, gets the foul to go.
And it's amazing. Just when you think Cumberland is out, they come back, get a big-time play, and inch themselves even closer.
Grzeski comes up hobbling. I'm not sure about that call, but either way, he is called with the blocking foul. Grzeski, that's his 3rd foul. And now Albright will try to answer Grzeski's 3-point play at the other end and closed within 2. Can't do it, though. Back iron, no good.
Offensive rebound.
No
Chance
look
to
past
tie
the
the game
Hackett.
here.
Yes, he
Tie
does.
game.
Hackett with a three-pointer from the right arc. And we are tied at 74 with
Can
under 3
Cumberland
minutes
get
remaining.
the stop they need and pull ahead here in the final minutes?
Unbelievable set of events. Again, I mentioned a few moments ago, Brookdale was up at 12, 1 point.
Bates from the corner. No good.
That's no good. Ball is tipped around. Cox gets bumped, and there's going to be a foul called on Hackett, and that's going to be his 5th.
And that's a huge foul.
Boy, that was a touchy call as Hackett tried to put on the brakes before he got into Cox.
Something had to be called there because he was forced into the backcourt. So if you're not going to call the foul, it's a backcourt violation. And it's not really fair because he did get bumped a little bit. So you have to call the foul because it forces momentum to push him into the backcourt. So now some crucial free throws here for Cox.
And as I mentioned, that's Hackett's 5th foul. He is gone for the rest of the night.
Hackett's been the primary ball handler, so it'll be interesting to see who they put on the ball here. And you wouldn't be surprised to see Brookdale come with a little bit of a full court press to try to stop the ball.
Cox misses that first foul shot.
Makes this one even more huge.
Second one on the way, and he connects on it.
1 point game.
You said it, Sean. 1 point.
Again, these teams played to a 2 point game last time they met, so I don't know why we expecting anything different, right?
Ford, nice bounce pass inside the Brown, and Cumberland has their first lead of the night, 76-75.
And how big is that missed free throw right now?
Cox with a quick pull-up jumper, and he knocks it down.
Huge jumper there.
And a quick timeout now called by Coach
Just as
Cizek.
I call out Cox for missing the free throw, he knocks down an 18-foot jump shot and shuts me up.
So quick back and forth banter going on between both teams on the floor. You saw Michael Brown, someone that we haven't called on too many times tonight, providing a crucial layup down low to give Cumberland their first lead of the night, or first lead of the second half, I should say. They did lead early on in the game. And then Cox comes right back literally 5 seconds later and knocks down a pull-up jump shot. And with 2:07 remaining here in the second half, we are separated by 1 point.
And we're going to have ourselves a great finish. If the last 2 minutes go anywhere close to the last 15 minutes of the game, it's going to be a heck of a finish. And, you know, it's going to go back and forth. It's going to really come down to who can get the stop on the defensive end. Which team can get a stop, get a couple stops in a row, and really secure themselves a victory here tonight.
So as soon as Coach Cizek finishes talking to his players on the sidelines, Cumberland will inbound.
So let's see the lineup that Coach Cizek goes with. It's like Johnson, Cox, Reese, Bates, and Crosby.
Football style pass inbound with Albright. Albright now going to keep it himself. Goes inside over Brian Reese. No call. Rebound to Brown. There's going to be a tie-up jump ball.
That's Brookdale ball. Oh, they call a foul.
And now they're going to call a foul. They changed it. One official put both his thumbs up to signal for a jump ball. And the other official came in at the last second and called a foul. That's on Brian Crosby. That's his 4th foul. Wow.
A little bit of a dramatic ending to this one, huh, Tim?
That's right. Let's take a look at this on the replay. So the first foul shot is made by Michael Brown.
Again,
We're tied at 77.
Give him the lead here if he can make it.
Brown rims out in the second one. Rebound to Johnson.
Tie game.
Minute 50 left. Cox pull-up jumper again. He knocks it down.
Cox, big-time shots in the clutch here.
Brookdale up by 2, 79-74. Here's Ford working in on Cox. Picks up his dribble.
Nowhere to go. Good decision.
Solomon now goes over Reese. And Reese is going to be called with a blocking foul. So Solomon.
This one's got the feel of a heavyweight fight going back and forth. A lot of physicality.
Wow, Solomon really leaned his shoulder in and took a blow to Brian Reese. Reese, though, didn't have his feet set, so that's why he was called with a defensive foul. So now Solomon. 2 shots. makes the first one. Trying to tie it up. And my goodness.
Couple of big free throws from a 42% free throw shooter. That's huge.
DeAndre Solomon makes them both.
Cox again looking to do.
Glenn Bates working inside.
He had
off
Cox
the glass.
outside
No
there.
good. Johnson with the rebound. Leans into the defender, gets the foul called. What a smart move by Isaiah Johnson to lean into the defender and get the foul.
Yeah, once the defender was up in the air, he had no chance. Johnson made the smart play, just jump into the defender, try to draw the foul. And this game looks like it's going to be decided at the free throw line.
Foul, I believe, is going to be called on Michael Brown. That's his first foul. And with 1:15 left, this is some huge foul shots for Johnson. Makes the first one. He's been pretty much money from the line. Shooting 76% for the year. Tries to knock down one more from the charity stripe. Rims out on that one. Rebound Brown. And again, 1 point game.
Yeah. Brown contributing, getting not a lot of minutes, but getting some crucial minutes here late and really contributing.
So here's Ford. Brookdale again, man-to-man defense. Solomon, guarded by Crosby. Here's Michael Brown. Over to Solomon. Turnaround shot, almost off the glass and in. Ball is tipped around, and it goes Brookdale's way. And Coach Philip Kelly can't believe it on the sidelines.
50 seconds to go. So they're still gonna have to get a shot off here.
And Coach Chizek wisely going to call a timeout to set up an offensive possession for Brookdale.
What a nail biter we have here down the stretch, huh?
So Sean, if you're Coach Chizek right now, you're up by 1 point. 46 seconds remaining. You know how good Cumberland has been the last couple of minutes. They have really dominated this second half. You have to hand it to them. What are you drawing up on the sidelines right now?
Well, you want to take as much time off the clock as you can. So you probably tell your guards, keep the ball out, top of the key, far away from the three-point line. Get the clock down to about 10 to 15 seconds. Start running a play. Get some motion going. Get a high post maybe going. And maybe we're probably going to see the ball in the hands of Isaiah Johnson. If he's been their go-to guy. He's a guy that can penetrate, draw a foul, and he's got some speed, a little bit of an advantage over the defense. So I think they're going to probably just run as much time off of the clock as they can. Maybe go a high screen and roll for Isaiah Johnson and let him penetrate and try to create something.
Cox has also been very good. He's been famous for the second half for those teardrop jump shots from around the perimeter. So we'll have to see what Coach Chizek decides to do. As Cumberland will come out of that timeout with Solomon, Albright, Michael Brown, Kalik Ford, and Teron Mitchell on the floor.
And if you're Cumberland, you need to just defend for 32 complete seconds. You do not want to defend for 30 seconds and leave them with a good shot with 2 seconds left in the shot clock. You need to defend all the way through this possession and get yourselves the ball back. And worst case, no threes. Even if they hit a 2, you still have the ball with a chance to tie the game.
And you certainly don't want to foul if you're Cumberland in this situation. Give Brookdale an opportunity.
But if you do foul, you want it to be a good foul. If you're giving up a shot that's going to be made, you want to make a good hard foul. No chance of a three-point opportunity.
So here we go. 40 seconds left. Cox with the ball. Gives off Johnson. Down low to Crosby, and he lays it in.
And I think maybe Coach Chizek caught them a little off guard, caught me off guard. Kind of running that play a lot sooner than we thought he might do it.
Shot clock is off. Timeout, Cumberland.
And give Coach Chizek credit. I thought up here that he probably would run some time off the clock. He said, you know what, we'll come out, we'll run the play immediately, maybe try to catch him off guard. I think it may have caught Cumberland a little bit off guard there, probably thinking that they would try to run the clock out a little bit there.
So a big offensive possession for Cumberland upcoming out of this timeout. And what a layup by Crosby. That could be the basket that is most important tonight.
And give Isaiah Johnson credit. He's the one that penetrated, found Crosby on the baseline wide open. And, like we said, Johnson creates, draws the defenders to him. Unselfish play to get it to Crosby, and he finishes strong.
So as exciting as this game is, We got another game coming up, Sean.
There we go.
The women are coming up next. The Brookdale Jersey Blues women's basketball team squaring off at approximately 7 p.m. Of course, the game's going to go a little bit later than that, so we'll have to wait. Keep it tuned here on Brookdale Television. But the Cumberland Dukes and the Brookdale Jersey Blues women's basketball teams will square off as soon as we're done with this one, live here on Brookdale Television.
And I think if you're Cumberland here, if you can get a quick 2, you probably take it. But you're really going to try to set up for a 3-point shot, especially the way they've been shooting the 3 today. Pretty successful doing that tonight. So let's see if they maybe decide to draw up a play, maybe get Solomon or Johnson a good look. They've been pretty hot all night, so interesting to see which way they go here.
So here we go. Albright will inbound. Ford, guarded by Cox. Ford going to go inside. Miscommunication there, picked up by Albright. Shot. Oh, and there's a tie-up at midcourt. Crosby and DeAndre Solomon come together. It's going to be Solomon, I believe, called with the foul, and he is not happy about that. And again, I believe that's Solomon's 4th foul. I thought that was his 5th.
He got caught in the corner, trying to make a pass across the court. Crosby was all over it. Crosby's got a big, long body to try to get that pass over. Great job by Crosby to read that pass, get in front of it, and that might have been the ball game right there.
There was a miscommunication between some of the Cumberland players. Albright was in the corner, picked up his dribble, and then tried to get it out to Solomon. Solomon came together with Crosby, and unfortunately for Solomon, got called with that foul. Crosby, though, misses the first one.
This one is imperative.
Now let me ask you this, Sean. If Crosby makes the second, does Cumberland go to the line and possibly try to get a quick foul, or do they still go for 3? Ooh, bounces in.
I think you have to go for 3 here, just because it's a 4-point game. But we'll see. If you get an easy 2, you could take it. Depends how quickly you can get it. You got to, if you can get it 5-6 seconds maybe, but I don't think Brook doesn't let him have anything easy here.
So here's Ford. 15 seconds left. Down by 4. Pulls up for a long 3. It's deflected. Ball is still tipped around. Rebound by Glenn Bates, and he's going to dribble out the clock. That's going to be the game. Final score tonight, 83-79. What a game.
Amazing finish. A good job by Brookdale to close out strong on the defensive end. Hustling to the loose balls. Really doing a great job on both ends of the floor to close this game out.
What would you say is the best, what would you say is the key? There's probably that shot by Crosby down low out of that timeout with about 16 seconds left.
I think the key was the coaching of Coach Chizek. Kind of going unconventional, running the play, not trying to take a lot of time off the clock. He really wanted to have the points over the time off the clock, and I think that was a smart decision. Kind of caught the defense off guard and got a really good shot there.
Well, definitely, it was a very exciting game. You hear me being excited. Sean was excited, and we got another game coming up for you. So again, final score for the Jersey Blues men's. They improved to 11-8 overall. A final score of 83-79, winning over Cumberland tonight. We have another game coming up for you. The Cumberland women and the Brookdale women squaring off in approximately 15 or 20 minutes or so. So keep it tuned to Brookdale Television. Until then, everybody, I'm Tim Kettlefelmo. Sean Rosenblum with us. We'll be back in about 15 minutes.